right, doing a silver stock portfolio update. Exciting news today for First Majestic Silver, which is now my largest holding because I went in and started buying a bunch of it right after the news. And the news was Eric Sprott, who is the single largest precious metals investor in the world, just did about a $75 million investment. We're going to get into what he had to say about that. I was shocked to see that it didn't move the markets into the close. Sprott announced like a $60 million investment into MAG Silver not too long ago, and they had about a 20% move up quickly from that. So this is exciting. It was exciting enough for me to want to add a lot to my First Majestic position, and now my largest holding. I also manage my mother-in-law's stock portfolio, and I added a lot for her as well. So let's get into the details. Be sure to hit the like button right over there on this side and right over there on this side, and let's dive right into it. Okay, so let's start off with this tweet by one of my favorite investors to watch, Jeff Clark at The Gold Advisor on Twitter, and he said Sprott now owns 2.3% of AG. Eric, quote, "We believe there has been a lack of appreciation for First Majestic Silver in 2020, and we are happy to align ourselves with Keith." Keith Neumeyer had this to say, quote, "This deal represents his largest treasury investment in a silver producer, let alone the entire silver space." Now, I think that's very exciting, and I couldn't have said it better myself. I've been tweeting about it for a while that I think the most undervalued silver stock is First Majestic. It's still negative year to date. I bet you tomorrow when the open happens, we'll see a big jump and it won't be negative year to date anymore. To give an idea, here is a chart that you're seeing right now of the year to date of First Majestic. It's just barely negative year to date, which is ridiculous, given that it's probably the best silver stock there is and has the most leverage to silver and an experienced CEO in Keith Neumeyer. And we just had silver go from 18 bucks, 19 bucks, and went down to 11 during the coronavirus sell-off. Then it went back up and it's hovering around 27, 28, 29. It looks poised for a humongous breakout. And this stock is probably the best silver stock that there is. Now, one of the reasons that I think that this is exciting and worth buying is because the only thing that you can think that has held this stock back, and Keith Neumeyer, I interviewed him and he came on this channel and he said, you know, I think maybe they have a little tax dispute going on with the Mexican government, and he suggested that he thought that was the reason that the stock has been held back, because this is the best stock. I own all the other silver stocks too. I started buying stocks like Endeavor Silver right after the coronavirus sell-off at like $1.50. It's over $4 now. So silver stocks have went wild. A lot of them have given well over 100% returns for me already in my portfolio, and I made a lot of money off those things. But the thing that I think can make the most money and that I'm most shocked hasn't skyrocketed is First Majestic. You've had these crappy silver stocks go nuts and the best silver stock has not. And so I think it's a really good opportunity right now. So let's dive a little bit deeper into the press release. So the press release says First Majestic announces a Canadian $78 million bought deal investment by billionaire Eric Sprott. And it goes on to say that Mr. Sprott commented, "We believe there has been a lack of appreciation for First Majestic's equity in 2020, and we are happy to align ourselves with Keith, who recognizes the mispricing of silver in the marketplace." And that's what's most important, and more than anything is the mispricing of First Majestic. I'm excited about this stock, and I think that is an opportunity to really take off. To me, this alleviates the concern of there being a major issue with the tax situation. Yeah, they're probably going to end up having to spend some money to the Mexican government, you would think, but for Eric to make this such a large investment right now, it goes to show you that it can't be that bad. You have to think that Eric's fears are alleviated of this not being something that is that terrible. The market has clearly already priced in what's happening with the tax situation. There's no other way to explain or describe why the stock would be struggling this much compared to all the other silver stocks that are out there. So I think it's already been priced in. And when you open the hood up, my feeling is that it can't be that bad if Eric's going to put 75 million in it. On top of it, it also makes me start to speculate and go in my head the way that First Majestic turns into a $100 stock and turns into just going into a major run is, of course, continuing to grow, hopefully getting another mine. So then it made me say, well, Keith told me on my interview when I interviewed him for the channel that he'd love to get another mine and these things take time, et cetera, and he said something to the effect of that. But then it made me think, well, if Eric's putting $75 million or so in, it makes me think, well, can they expedite that? Does Eric, have Eric and Keith discuss the prospects of this in greater detail? How much of that $75 million and any other talks that were involved in negotiations of that $75 million, how much more energy is now going to be put into a new mine deal? So when you couple in the fact that the stock is negative year to date as the time of filming this, when there's many silver stocks that are up well over 100% since the coronavirus market sell-off, and year to date, many of them are up over 80%. Fortuna's up over 80%. I think Endeavor is, and they're up hundreds of percent since the coronavirus sell-off. So then it makes you go, wow, well, it's bullish in that regard because First Majestic has been underpriced and it seems like the tax issue has already been priced in. The price of silver is clearly going to keep going up. Maybe we'll see $30, $40 silver by the end of this year. I think we'll see more than that by 2021. So it makes you go, okay, well, if all of that is being so, it's already undervalued. On top of that, they got the 75 million. Maybe that moves them towards getting another mine. And on top of that, now you just got Eric involved, so everything gets to basically be expedited and there gets to be more momentum. So those are just my running thoughts. Obviously, I'm not involved with the company, just a shareholder running my thoughts, an enthusiastic shareholder sharing my ideas. So I got my mother-in-law doubled down on First Majestic and it's now my largest holding. Let's see what we can cook up to all the fellow First Majestic shareholders. If you're a holder and you heard Keith be interviewed on the show, or you heard me talk about it in another video, just hang patient, hang tight. Silver's going higher, and I think this stock has a lot of room to run just to even catch up to the other ones. So if you enjoy this video, make sure you hit the like button right over there on this side and right over there on this side, and see you next time.